Patricia from the Southwest Yankee, what some middle-aged women will do. A few snake stories from the Southwest and the Northeast, which coincides with the foreshadowing of my assimilation and words I use in the Southwest. So there's going to be a plethora going on here. Okay. Light moment. Yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalms 23:4. So, I was at work the other day, and a couple of my coworkers we're all standing there talking. So one of them says to the other one, I live here, and the other one says, I live over here. And the guy's like, wow, you live near the lake? And I'm like, you live near the lake? And I proceeded to use my few words of my vernacular that I use in the Southwest to assimilate myself into the culture. And you know my list is short. It involves the words wrestle and crack. And then I appreciate I'll throw in when I talk to people. I'll say I appreciate you. So I appreciate that. So those are like my 3 words. So I says, wow, when you're at the lake, do you wrestle the cottonmouths? When he proceeded to say, my brother got bit by one and it took 6 vials of anti-venom to save his life. So I was like, ironic. I'm trying to assimilate, and it backfired in my face, and it was terrifying to hear the story. So I said, how can we parlay this into more snake stories, because you guys really like the pet store snake one that I do with my kids when they want a snake. So this involves one of my other kids and snakes too, another time. So we'll start with my assimilation. I was at a training a few years ago, and they held it at a camp. So there was people from, like myself, from other places, and we moved here. So one of them was from Michigan. He had the best personality. And so we were next to the creek, and it was crazy. It was so high up in the, you could call it a river, but it really looked like a creek. So people like standing there, and they're kind of looking down, a bunch of them. So I said, oh, he's over there. He's such a wonderful personality. I'm going to go over and talk. So I went over. He proceeded to tell me that, oh, you just missed it. There was a cottonmouth. And I'm like, what? Why would I possibly want to be near that close to a poisonous snake? So, out in the wild, not in glass, behind, So, we will go back to now the Northeast. So, my kids and I were at a cookout from church. Someone had a cookout at the house. And they had dynamited the place. Like, we're talking, they were in the forest, and they just, annihilated the trees to throw a house up. So, I don't know if the pond was already there in nature or it was man-made, but they told the guests that there will be paddle boating, and we provided the life jackets. So my son and I love paddle boating. So he was probably, I want to say, I think how old he was, 3 or 5. I mean, he was little, maybe 5 or 6, somewhere in there. So we proceed to go down to the pond, and his sister stayed with the rest of the group, which there were emus at the, it was a menagerie of animals at this place. And by the way, New Hampshire is so much like Texas, it's crazy. So, anywho, don't make any more side notes. Okay, sticking to the subject. So, somebody moved the life jacket. So I said, just wait right here to my son. And I went scavenging up the hill a little. I found him. I mean, I'm gone like a minute. I come back, there's a baby rattlesnake between him and I. And my first thought is, they dynamited the place. There's not branches, there's limbs. So I grabbed the first limb of a tree. It's too short, didn't work. I grabbed the second one and went, phew! And that baby rattlesnake went flying. So you gotta remember that the baby ones are more poisonous than the adult ones, because they don't know when to stop with the venom, which I think the adult rattlesnakes like to hold on to their venom. But to make a long story short, we threw our life jackets on and went paddleboarding. So, wrong one. One is standing on a surfboard, the other one's sitting and, like biking. So, one's arms, one's legs. So, I want to say the moral of the story is try to assimilate without it turning into a snake story. No. It's fodder for YouTube. So, remember to subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.